At 5:02 a.m., my neighbor pounded on my door like my life depended on it. He told me one thing: don't go to work today. By noon, the police said I was responsible for a violent attack at a building I never stepped into. And that's when I realized something terrifying. Someone didn't just want me gone. They wanted me erased. It was still pitch dark outside when the heavy pounding echoed against my front door. I glanced at the clock. It read 5:02 a.m. No one comes knocking at such an hour unless something is terribly wrong. I tugged on my sweatshirt and approached the door, my heart already hammering in my chest. When I opened it, there stood my next-door neighbor, Gabriel Stone. His face had drained of color. His breathing came in ragged bursts, as though he had sprinted the entire distance. "Don't go to work today," he said, his voice hushed and filled with urgency. "Stay home. Just trust me." I stared at him, completely bewildered. Gabriel was always reserved, courteous, the type who exchanged only a few polite words in passing. I knew almost nothing about him, except that he preferred his own company and had moved into the neighborhood about a year earlier. Seeing him like this, so visibly shaken and afraid, felt deeply unnatural. "What are you talking about?" I asked. "Has something happened?" He gave a slow shake of his head, yet his eyes burned with unmistakable warning. "I can't explain right now. Just promise me you won't leave the house today. Not for any reason." In that instant, everything felt surreal. The sharp chill of the early morning air, the faint pink ribbon of dawn just beginning to appear on the horizon, and my neighbor, who was usually so composed, now looking like a man on the verge of collapse. I drew in a slow, steady breath. "Gabriel, you're frightening me," I told him. "Why shouldn't I go?" He paused for a moment. Then his voice fell to a near whisper. "You'll understand by noon." Before I could press him further, he stepped back, cast a quick, wary glance around the neighborhood as though expecting unseen eyes upon us, and hurried back toward his own house. He never once looked behind him. I remained standing there in silence, my hand frozen on the doorknob, thoughts racing wildly. One rational part of me wanted to brush it off as mere paranoia. Perhaps he was disoriented. Perhaps he was suffering some sort of emotional breakdown. But another part of me, the part that had always relied on instinct, refused to dismiss the warning. And there was one additional reason I could not simply let it go. 3 months earlier, I had lost my father. His death came without warning. Officially, the cause was recorded as a stroke, but in the days leading up to it, he kept insisting he needed to show me something crucial. Whenever I pressed him for details, he would only reply, "It's about our family. It's time you knew." Then before we could ever have that conversation, he was gone. Since then, unsettling things had begun happening around me. A car with darkly tinted windows parked near my driveway for hours on end, my phone ringing from blocked numbers, with nothing but silence on the other end. My younger sister Sophie, who lives and works overseas, calling to ask whether I had noticed any unfamiliar faces in the neighborhood. No one had spoken plainly, but I had felt it. Something was shifting in my life, quietly, deliberately, and whatever it was, it carried purpose. My name is Alyssa Rowan. I am 33 years old. I work as a financial analyst at Henning & Cole Investments. I have never missed a single day of work unless illness forced me to stay home. I live alone in the house I inherited from my grandmother. It has always been a quiet life, orderly, predictable, until today. In that moment, I made a decision, not driven by panic but by cold reason. If Gabriel was mistaken, I would simply take a personal day off. If he was correct, I might be preserving my own life without yet realizing it. I sent a text to my manager, explaining that a personal emergency prevented me from coming in. Then I waited. The hours dragged on endlessly. Every sound in the house seemed amplified. The steady ticking of the kitchen clock, the low hum of the refrigerator, even the wind pressing against the windows, sounded like muffled voices trying to speak through the walls. By 11:30 a.m., I began to feel ridiculous. Nothing had happened. Gabriel had not returned. Perhaps I had overreacted. Then my phone rang. An unknown number. I answered, expecting perhaps my manager, or another spam call. Instead, a calm, authoritative voice spoke. "Ma'am, this is Officer Taylor with the County Police Department. Are you aware of a critical incident that occurred at your workplace this morning?" My breath caught in my throat. "What incident?" The officer let out a slow exhale, his tone shifting noticeably. "There was a violent attack at your building. Several employees were injured. We have reason to believe you were present." My entire body turned ice cold. "That's impossible. I wasn't there." Silence. Then the officer answered. We have footage of your car arriving at 8:02 a.m. Your work ID was used to enter the building, and security reports indicate you were last seen on the 3rd floor, before the attack. My knees nearly gave way. I gripped the edge of the table to keep myself upright. Someone had used my identity. Someone had wanted me to be there. And someone had wanted the world to believe I had been. If you want to know what the police told me next, and the truth my neighbor had been trying so desperately to shield me from, subscribe now and comment where you're watching from. Because what happened at noon did not merely change my life, it revealed exactly why I was never meant to survive this day. The officer's voice remained steady, but beneath the calm lay something else. Urgency blended with caution that told me this was no ordinary courtesy call. This was a conversation that would alter everything. Ms. Rowan, the officer continued, your coworkers reported seeing you enter the building this morning. Security logs confirm your keycard was used at 8:02 a.m. We have time-stamped footage of your vehicle entering the parking garage. I pressed the phone, tighter against my ear. My voice trembled. That's not possible. I've been home all morning. I didn't go to work today. There was a pause. Then he asked the question that sent ice through my veins. Can anyone verify that? I looked around my empty living room. The silence felt crushing, accusing. No, I whispered. I live alone. The officer's tone grew more official. Ms. Rowan, at approximately 11:47 a.m., an emergency alert was triggered on the 3rd floor of your building. A coordinated attack took place. You were reported missing from the scene. We are required to locate you for your safety. And for questioning, my fingers tightened around the phone. Questioning? Why would I be questioned? There was a longer pause, as though he were weighing each word with care. Evidence was found in the building. Items belonging to you were recovered near the scene of the incident. My mind went blank. Items belonging to me? That was the moment I thought of Gabriel again. His ashen face, his trembling hands. Don't go to work today. Someone had planned this meticulously, and I had been woven into that plan, either as the intended victim or as the one left to take the blame. I'm telling you I wasn't there, I said, struggling to keep my voice even. Someone must have cloned my keycard, or... Then a sudden realization struck me so forcefully I could hardly speak. My car. Did you see who got out of the car in that footage? The officer answered quietly. The footage is corrupted. We don't see the face, only the vehicle entering, with your plates clearly visible. My pulse surged. Whoever orchestrated this had access to my car, or possessed an identical one. My identity had not simply been stolen. It had been replaced. I glanced out the window, heart pounding. Was I being watched right now? Was someone waiting for me to panic and make a fatal mistake? Before I could ask anything more, the officer said, Units will be arriving at your address shortly. Please do not leave the premises. My instincts screamed into overdrive. If Gabriel had warned me not to go to work, and someone had impersonated me, then the police arriving might not be coming to protect me. They might be coming to take me. The instant the call ended, I closed every blind and locked every door. My breathing grew shallow. My mind raced back through every odd occurrence of the past few weeks. A man in a suit watching me from a parked car down the street. Emails from unknown addresses asking whether I would be in the office on Tuesday. The unmistakable feeling that someone had searched through my belongings while I was away. It had never been paranoia. It had been preparation. Suddenly there came a knock at my door. Sharp, controlled. Not hesitant like a worried neighbor. Not frantic like someone in distress. It was deliberate. I held my breath and remained perfectly still. Another knock. Then a voice. Alyssa, it's Gabriel. Open the door. We need to talk. My chest constricted. I moved slowly toward the door, but did not open it. How did you know the police would call me? I asked through the wood. His voice returned low and steady. Because they're not coming to help you. They're coming to place you under federal custody. You were never meant to wake up in your own bed this morning. My head spun. What are you talking about? They staged the incident to eliminate everyone in that building, he said. And you were supposed to be there. Not as a victim, but as the one they would blame. He paused. And now they need you alive long. Enough to confess to something you didn't do. A cold wave of understanding swept over me. Whoever was behind this did not merely want me gone. They wanted me erased and rewritten as the villain. And whatever was planned for noon was never truly about the building. It was about me. I opened the door slowly. Not because I fully trusted Gabriel, but because I trusted blind fear even less. The moment the door cracked open, his eyes locked onto mine, sharp, watchful, as though he were searching for any sign we were not alone. Without waiting for permission, he stepped inside and closed the door behind him. He wasted no time. "They're already on their way," he said. "You have minutes, maybe less, before they arrive and declare this house a crime scene." I crossed my arms, trying to steady my breathing. "Why? Why me? What's going on?" He did not answer immediately. Instead, he moved to the kitchen window and scanned the street. Then he lowered his voice. "Alyssa, I didn't move here by accident. I moved here to watch over you. Your father asked me to." The words struck me like a physical blow. I took a step backward. "My father." "No, my father was an accountant. A normal man. He never—" Gabriel turned to face me fully. "Your father never worked in finance. That was his cover. He was involved in a covert federal investigation for nearly 2 decades. And you were part of the reason." My mouth turned dry. "What does that mean?" Gabriel reached inside his jacket and withdrew a small black envelope. "Your father knew something like this would happen one day. He left this for you." I hesitated before accepting it. My fingers trembled as I unfolded the paper inside. There was a handwritten note. "Alyssa, if you are reading this, then what I feared has come to pass. You are not in danger because of anything you did. You are in danger because of who you are. There is more to your identity than you know. Gabriel will tell you the rest. Trust him as you once trusted me. Do not surrender yourself. If they take you in, you will disappear." "Dad," my knees weakened. My father had known. He had been trying to prepare me. All those times he said, "There are things you're better off not knowing." Yet, I had thought he was being overly dramatic. Now those words returned to me like warnings from beyond the grave. Gabriel met my gaze. "They're not just framing you. They're reclaiming you." "Reclaiming?" I repeated, my voice barely a whisper. "You were never just a civilian," Gabriel said. "Your birth was not a coincidence. Your identity was constructed. Your father uncovered a classified biogenetic program, one tied to prominent families, influential bloodlines. When he refused to cooperate, he became a liability. His death was not natural. You were meant to be eliminated next, but they found a better use for you." My heart thundered. "To use me as what?" He took a step closer. "As a scapegoat. They needed a narrative that would justify the next phase of their plan. A false flag event, a manufactured tragedy, with you as the face of it." A thermal realization burned through me. Every strange moment, every shadow I had ignored, had been leading precisely to this. "So all of this," I asked, "was staged to destroy my life?" Gabriel's gaze remained unwavering. "Not just your life, your legitimacy. Once they declare you a national threat, they can seize every file connected to your father's investigation. They can erase the truth he died trying to protect." He reached into his coat once more. This time he drew out a metal keycard bearing a red emblem. "This is access to a secure storage vault your father used. It contains encrypted files that name the people behind this operation. If you don't reach that vault before they reach you, everything your father died for will be buried forever." I stared at the keycard in his hand, then back at the note from my father. My entire life, I had believed I was ordinary, replaceable, invisible. Now I understood the truth. I was never invisible. I was never replaceable. I was watched. Because I was the final piece of a puzzle someone powerful refused to let be solved. Suddenly, the distant wail of sirens began to rise across the neighborhood. Gabriel looked toward the front window. "They're here," he said. But he showed no fear. And for the first time since that morning, neither did I. Because fear had lost something I no longer carried: doubt. I folded my father's letter carefully and slipped the keycard into my pocket. Then I looked at Gabriel and said, "Show me where we need to go." He nodded once, and in that moment, I crossed the invisible line between the life I had always known and the truth I had been born to confront. We barely reached Gabriel's SUV before the first unmarked, black vehicles turned the corner and began closing in on my street. The sirens had gone silent. They no longer needed them. They weren't arriving as law enforcement. They were arriving as retrieval. "Get in," Gabriel ordered, starting the engine the instant my door shut. We shot forward, tires screeching. Through the rear window, I watched 2 men step out of a black sedan. Scanning the area, one of them raised a radio to his mouth. His expression cold and certain, like a man recovering property, not a person. Property. As we sped down the highway, a strange calmness settled over me. Fear had drained from my body. What remained was clarity. Something inside me had shifted. Like a key finally finding its true lock. After 20 minutes of silence, Gabriel spoke. "There's something you need to see before we reach the vault. Once you see it, you'll understand why they've been watching you your whole life." He reached into his jacket and handed me a tablet. A file was already open on the screen, labeled Rowan Alyssa Subject 7B, Designation, Genomic Asset, High Priority Project. Origin, Rowan Initiative. I scrolled downward. My pulse quickened with every line. Gene expression chart. Blood markers not found in ordinary humans. A note. Subject exhibits complete immunity to multiple viral strains. Potential. Regenerative blood properties. Subject approved for Phase 2 integration. Phase 2. I swallowed hard. What does this mean? Regenerative. Immune to what? Gabriel kept his eyes fixed on the road. 20 years ago, your father uncovered a government-backed biogenetics program. They weren't trying to cure diseases. They were trying to create a new class of human beings. People with specific immune advantages who could survive outbreaks. Chemical exposure, warfare. I stared at the screen. Light flickered across my face as the truth settled like ash. My father was involved in this? I asked. He was never meant to be, Gabriel said. He stumbled across it when he discovered medical inconsistencies in your early childhood records. He found samples of your blood in places he never authorized. He realized you were being studied without his knowledge. He tried to pull you from the program, but that was never an option. The highway lights streaked past us like white comets. I could barely process the words. Me, a subject. A project. A target. Gabriel continued, his tone firm yet controlled. Your father leaked the existence of the program to a federal oversight board. The board ordered the project shut down. But instead of ending it, the people at the top erased the investigation. And everyone who knew. Everyone. Including my father. I whispered. Gabriel nodded. They made it look like a stroke. But he was poisoned with a neurotoxin developed by the same program. His death was a message. I closed my eyes. For the first time, I no longer saw my father as a quiet man carrying secrets. I saw him as someone who had sacrificed everything to shield his child from the world she never knew she had been born into. They planned to retrieve you on your 33rd birthday, Gabriel said. But something changed. Your profile was accelerated. Your blood test last month triggered a system alert. That's why they staged the attack at your workplace today. If you had gone, you would either be dead or disappeared. Dead or erased. And now? I asked. They will frame you publicly, Gabriel said. Declare you a domestic threat. Asset recovery protocol. I gripped the tablet tightly. But why frame me? Why not just take me quietly? Because they don't just want your body, Gabriel answered. They want control over the narrative. If the world believes you are dangerous, no one will question what they do with you. We turned off the main road and onto a narrow forest path leading toward a remote facility. The trees grew thick and close. The air turned colder. My heartbeat steadied. I was no longer living the life I had known. I was living the one I had been born for. As we approached what appeared to be an abandoned bunker concealed beneath an overgrown hill, Gabriel parked the SUV and turned to me. You have one last decision, Alyssa, he said. His voice was quiet. Once you walk inside, there is no going back. You will know everything. Your father died to protect the truth about what you are. And once you know it, they will never stop hunting you. I met his eyes. I've been hunted my whole life without knowing why, I said. It's time I found out what's inside me that they're so desperate to, control. Gabriel nodded. I stepped out of the vehicle. The door of the bunker groaned open, as though rousing itself from decades of silence. And in that moment, I understood. This was not the end of my life. It was the beginning of the real one. The bunker door sealed, shut behind us with a deep metallic thud that reverberated through the chamber like the heartbeat of something ancient. The air felt cold and untouched, as though the place had not simply been waiting, but waiting specifically for me. Gabriel moved with quiet certainty, leading me down a long corridor lined with steel safety doors. I followed in silence, each step feeling heavier than the one before. The deeper we went, the more a strange sensation grew inside my chest. Not fear, not anxiety, recognition. My body knew this place, even if my mind did not. We stopped before a massive vault door bearing a circular emblem, engraved into the steel, the Rowan family crest. My father had once shown me a drawing of it, telling me it belonged to distant ancestors. Now I knew the truth. It was never heritage. It was designation. Gabriel gestured toward a small panel on the wall. "Your DNA will open this vault," he said. I hesitated. "How do you know?" "Because your father told me," he replied. "He said the vault will only recognize his bloodline. And you are the last. The last." The realization struck me that I was not merely unlocking a door. I was unlocking the final secret of my family's existence. I pressed my palm to the scanner. A pulse of light traveled along my skin. The vault gave a soft chime, then slowly rotated open. Cold air rushed out, carrying a scent that made my chest tighten. Old paper, memory, and something else. Home. The circular room inside was lined with shelves of black boxes, each marked with coded numbers. At the center stood a glass pedestal, and on that pedestal, sealed within protective casing, rested a single leather-bound journal. My father's journal. With trembling hands, I lifted the casing and opened to the bookmarked page. There was a letter addressed to me in his familiar handwriting. "My daughter, if you are reading this, then the lies surrounding your life have finally been stripped away. But what I need you to know above all else is this. You were never an accident. You were never property. You were the first successful proof that human immunity can evolve naturally. They did not create you. You were born with what they have spent decades trying to manufacture. It is not what was done to you that makes you powerful. It's what you already are. You are the future they fear." I closed my eyes as tears blurred the ink. My father had not simply died to protect me. He had died to protect what I represented. Not a weapon, a hope. On the next page was a final instruction. "There is a decision only you can make. At the far end of this vault lies the master control terminal.
One command will give them what they've always wanted, your compliance.
The other will release every classified document tied to the Rowan initiative to the public. Once you choose, the world will be changed forever." I looked at Gabriel. He made no attempt to sway me. He simply said, "Your father trusted you to decide, not as a subject, but as a human being." My legs felt leaden as I approached the control terminal. 2 buttons glowed softly beneath glass. Acquisition protocol. Signaling surrender. Revelation protocol. Triggering public exposure. If I chose the first, I might survive, but at the cost of my freedom and the truth. If I chose the second, I would make myself the enemy of powerful people who had already killed to keep this secret buried. I pressed the second button. A low hum filled the chamber. A countdown appeared on the screen. Data began streaming onto secure channels my father had preset. Evidence, names, financial trails, all flowing toward global media outlets. Encrypted yet traceable. There was no turning back. Gabriel exhaled. "It's done. You just changed the world." Suddenly, alarms blared. They had found us. Our time had run out. But I was no longer afraid. For the first time in my life, I was not hiding behind what I once believed was safety. I was standing fully in the light of truth. "We have to leave now," Gabriel said urgently. As we hurried toward the exit tunnel, my father's final words echoed through my mind. "You were not born to be controlled. You were born to reveal what control really is." We emerged into the cold night. Helicopters thundered overhead. Searchlights sliced through the trees, but I no longer saw them as hunters. I saw them as the first wave of a dying lie, and I was no longer running from them. I was leading the fight against them, because I was not merely surviving anymore. I was becoming what my father had always believed I could be. Not a subject, not a victim, but the beginning of something entirely new. If you believe the truth should never be hidden, no matter how powerful the people, trying to bury it make sure you subscribe right now and comment where you're watching from. Because this story is not the end. It's the warning of what is coming next.